If you've got the perfect place for your dream workshop, stop dreaming and make it happen. We're going to show you how, right here today on The Ultimate Workshop. No matter how wild your dreams are about your workshop, there are some basic necessities that you still have to cover. So today we'll talk about those and get you well on the way to creating your ultimate workshop. Now first, you can't have the ultimate workshop without the ultimate workbench. We'll show you how to make one right here. Then we'll look at choosing and positioning the larger equipment that won't be moving around in your workspace. We'll add a modular workstation system that's perfect for any size workshop. And finally, I'll show you some innovative ways to rid your shop of dust and keep the air clean. Now, if you miss anything on today's show, you'll find easy-to-follow printable instructions on our website at DIYnet.com. The focus of any workshop is the workbench. It is literally the grand central station of the workshop, and sooner or later, anything that's portable in there is either going to be on it, beside it, or spilled across it. It's got to be sturdy and able to handle whatever work you plan on throwing on there. Now, when you first set up your workshop, you should place your main work surface, which is your workbench, in the most convenient place. It needs to be in the center, near your large power tools and your major storage area. Now, if your work surface looks something like this, that's fine, it works. But in creating the ultimate workshop, we thought it only fitting to try and create the ultimate workbench. You can spend thousands of dollars on a workbench, but I've always felt like I'd want to look at one of those rather than work on it. So ours we can do for about $175, and to help us with it is not only an expert, but the designer, Chris Schwarz from Popular Woodworking Magazine. Hi, Chris.
Hey, Jay, good to see you.
You too. Thanks for coming.
Hey, glad to be here.
Well, where do we get started?
Well, Jay, you know, there are three things you need to look out for when you're designing your ultimate workbench.
Okay.
Number one, the thing has got to be heavy. It's got to be really, really, really dense, and that you don't want to be pushing that bad boy all around your shop when you're working on it.
Okay.
Second thing is it's got to be sturdy. This has got to be the absolute most sturdy piece of furniture you ever build as a woodworker. So we're going to pin these tenons with bolts instead to make it super sturdy. And the third thing is it's got to be able to hold your work when you're working on it. And that means we've got to put vices on it, we're going to have bench dogs and all sorts of other little things for holding our work.
It is going to be a workbench, so it's going to take some abuse.
We're going to work on it.
Okay. Now, lumber. I mean, I assume for $175 you can't make this out of teak. So what did you adjust for the budget there?
Well, most people make their bench traditionally out of beech or birch or maple. Those are all really expensive hardwoods.
Right.
We found, you know, if you go to the home center, you can check out the Southern Yellow Pine rack. Southern Yellow Pine, it's dense, it's hard, it's tough, and it's cheap too.
And it's easy to find. Just go pick out your wood, and then you don't have to have anything special ordered. You just come home and start making your workbench.
It sure is.
Okay, let's look at some tools. The big ones first, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, you know, you can build this bench using a circ saw, but, you know, we borrowed here a little benchtop table saw, and this will rip the rounded edges off the 2x8, and it will also be useful for cutting the tenons.
Okay, now what about a dado? You have to make sure that one will fit on whatever you're using, right?
Yeah, benchtop table saw, you need to look at the length of the arbor nut and make sure that it'll accept a dado stack. Most of them will, but it's something to check before you get started.
Better to check, make sure.
Yeah.
Okay, the next big piece of equipment?
Next big piece of equipment is the drill press.
Okay.
We've got this benchtop drill press, and we're going to use this for drilling out the mortises and also drilling out some of the nut holes.
Okay, now, you don't necessarily have to have this. It can be done with a hand drill, but this is just a lot faster and more convenient?
This is more accurate,
okay,
and it's faster, and it's more convenient. But, you know, if you've got a hand drill, you can still do the work.
Great. Now, let's look at some of our smaller tools.
Yeah. Well, for drilling in the tenons, to put the bolt holes, we've got this little doweling jig. You can get these at just about any hardware store. They're pretty inexpensive, and you'll find them really useful, you know, in your woodworking hobby.
Okay.
Also, for squaring up the corners of the mortises that we're going to drill out, you know, you need a chisel or two. It's always a good idea to have a chisel.
All right.
Yeah.
And then the big guys.
The clamps.
Yes.
Yeah, we got a saying in woodworking that he who dies with the most clamps wins.
Okay,
so if you're starting your hobby, get some clamps. You know, we've got a wide variety here. We've got some bar clamps, we've got some pipe clamps, we've got some you know, quick action clamps.
And a cordless drill will do it?
Cordless drill will do most of the work, yeah. But if you don't have a cordless drill, corded drill works good too.
And I like to see that you've brought in some of the old-time tools with this brace and bit.
Yeah, I've got my grandfather's brace and bit. It gives me a lot of torque, and it also gives me the upper body workout.
That's right. Great. Now, I assume you can't buy all these for $175 and build a workbench.
No, you can't, but you can borrow them if you have to, or, you know, these are all really good for getting your hobby started.
Right, exactly, and you can use them again and again.
Exactly.
All right, well, I guess we got a lot of work to do.
It is time to get going. Jay, why don't you get the 2x8s? We'll start ripping those corners off them, and I'll get the table saw ready.
Let's do it.
All right.
First, I ripped our 2x8s down the middle using the table saw. Then to square up the boards, we ripped off the rounded edges. Using regular wood glue and lots of it, we put the boards together that will make up the top, placing the clamps about 10 inches apart. Chris cut the mortises in the table legs using the drill press. Then I squared out the corners with a chisel. With the stacked dado blade installed on the table saw, we cut the tenons on the ends of the rails. Once that was done, I cut the clearance holes for the bolts that will hold the legs together using a doweling jig. Then it was back to the drill press, where Chris cut out the slots that allow the nuts to attach to the bolts. With all of our pieces cut, we're ready to assemble our workbench. The first thing to do is to put together the two end assemblies. With some glue and a little persuading, these pieces fell into place. Next, we carefully place the base rails into position. Good there?
Yeah.
Then we slip the bolts to the table legs and into the clearance hole, then into the slots where we tighten down the nuts with a socket wrench. Next, Chris cut 3/4-inch dog holes with a brace and bit. A cordless drill simply doesn't have the torque needed here. And besides, Chris is just an old-fashioned guy. We attach the slats that make up our bottom shelf to cleats on the base rails. Then the top is set into place, and it too is secured to the base using wooden cleats. Finally, the last thing to do is to smooth out the top. You can use sandpaper, but as Chris demonstrated, a plane is just much faster. Wow, Chris, this looks great.
Turned out just like the plans.
And that's when that happens, isn't it?
Yeah, every once in a while you get a little lucky.
Now, we do have the weight and the strength you talked about.
Yeah, this thing is pretty darn sturdy, pretty darn heavy. You can dance on this sucker.
Okay, well, maybe I'll try that later.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the vise.
The vise, like everything else on this bench, is really simple. It's two pieces of 2x8 laminated together and stuck on the rods, then bolted to the underside of the top, and there you go. And the thing about this vise that'll make you just shake your head is the cost of it is about half the price of the whole bench.
Really?
Yeah, but you got to have the vise. It's one of the integral parts of holding your work down.
Absolutely. You've got to have something to hold things steady.
You got it, you got it. The other thing for holding the wood down is we've got bench dogs, and these bench dogs here just slide right into the bench dog holes we've drilled in, and you've got the Wonder Dogs here. And these, put your wood in.
Tighten it up.
Tighten it up.
You ready to hold on to it while you drill or sand or whatever you're going to be doing?
Whatever you got to do.
You should be proud.
Wow, turned out great.
It looks great.
Thanks, Jay.
Thanks for coming by.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, these plans can be found on the website at DIYnet.com. There's still a lot more to come, so don't go away. When we return, we'll pick out the perfect spots for our primary equipment.
This program brought to you by Dodge. Grab life by the horns. Dodge.
Here we go.
Hey, you guys need a tow?
Sure.
Best friends, you're there when I need you. Best friends, you know I'm there for you.
Dodge Ram. It's everything you've ever dreamed of.
Huh.
In one powerful truck.
Man, that was sweet. For you. You can ride in the truck next time.
For this year's HGTV Dream Home on Lake Tyler in Texas, we made windows larger, doors bigger, and roof lines extra tall. And that's just on the boathouse. Enter HGTV's Dream Home giveaway for a chance to win our biggest dream home ever. With designer furnishings and a GMC Envoy Denali. Brought to you by GMC, Lumber Liquidators, and these national sponsors. Enter at hgtv.com or by mail for a chance to win big. Texas big.
Welcome back to the Ultimate Workshop. I'm Jay Baker. In our last show, we discussed how to choose the layout of your workshop, incorporating that very important work triangle setup. Now, Once you know how to lay it out, the next step is to decide what type of equipment you're going to be using, and then you need to figure out where to place everything. Here to help us with the decision of our stationary tools and their placement is David Teal from Popular Woodworking Magazine. Hi, David.
Hi, Jay. Good to see you.
Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Okay, what do we need to do to get started here?
Well, the first corner of the triangle is the machining area, and that's where we'll start. The first tool we want to talk about is the joiner.
Okay.
We're right here with it.
Great.
This is a 6-inch joiner. Its basic function in life is to flatten and square wood. It comes out of the lumber yard. It needs a little work before you can work on it in assembly.
Absolutely. It just makes all of those surfaces nice and clean, all of those corners nice and square, so you're ready to go on to the next steps.
Right. Positioning on this, it's close to the lumber rack, so we don't have to carry wood very far. Conveniently, usually when you're cutting on it, it's a low cut, either flat or here, so you don't have to get very high. It'll slide right underneath that rack and go tight against the wall.
Right. That's the thing I like about it is it's basically once you have everything set up, it is a one-sided tool. It can go underneath our storage shelves and you can work on it from this side.
Right. You usually want to have about 8 feet to the in feet and out feet sides for the length of the wood. Some features that are important, the fence is usually squared for most cuts, but if you need to, you roll it over, it'll go right to a miter cut, ankle cut, something like that. Quickly back to 90.
Right. And the thing that I like, the most important part of this tool is the guard. It's red for a reason. Keep your hands off of it and it'll keep you safe. That's over the blade.
Right. Adjusting the joiner, you use the in-feed table, you use the wheel. One rotation is usually a 1/64 of an inch.
Okay.
To make a cut.
Let's do it. Now, you always put on safety glasses because this thing will throw out some sawdust.
Yes, it will.
You get a nice flat edge, you get a nice square corner, and then it butts up against another piece of wood nicely.
It's a joiner, it makes a joint.
There you go.
Nice tight joint, good glue joint, you're ready to go for any kind of tops, multiple piece panels, something like that.
Looks great.
When you're done with the joiner, it's conveniently located next to the table saw. That's your next stop.
Let's take a look at the table saw.
Table saw is probably the most important tool in any shop, central machinery piece. It does cross cuts, it does rips, it does miters, it will make all sorts of joinery cuts as well.
Very versatile.
Location again, you need in-feed, out-feed space, about 8 feet to the outside, even to the side there. So let me show you a couple features.
Okay, great.
The fence is critical. It needs to be a good fence that moves easily, that locks down parallel to the blade quickly, and that the scale is easy to read.
And the fence can also move to the other side of the blade.
Sure, you can work to either side of the fence or either side of the blade. The fence has 2 sides, very simple to use.
Okay.
The guard is in place. That's a very important feature as well. But if you lift it up for a second, we'll see how the blade works. The front handle gives you the height, about 3 1/4 inches, something like that. Once it's in place, the side handle over here will tilt the blade over for bevel cuts.
Absolutely. And the grooves here are for the miter gauge, correct?
They are for the miter gauge. Handy tool for all sorts of things. Slips right into the slot. Particularly good for cross cuts and a square. But if you need to make a miter cut, it angles right over and you're ready to go there.
Right. Now, my little friend when I'm using this is the roller stand.
The roller
because
stand
very
is-
often I'm using the saw by myself.
Right. Real
This is
important
like
for
having another person.
It is. Longer cuts, let me see the board up there. We'll show you real quick. When you're at the end of a cut, rather than having it fall on the floor, you're supported easily.
Something's there to hold it for you till you can get around and grab it and take it to the next step.
That's 2 pieces in the machining area of the triangle. We've got one more piece we want to look at, and that's the bandsaw.
Let's take a look.
All right.
And here we have the bandsaw.
Yep, if you're buying 3 pieces of major equipment for your shop, the third should be a bandsaw right behind the table saw and the joiner.
Right.
It fits a little outside of the work triangle. You start with the machining area, but this is close to the second corner in the assembly area.
Right.
It's handy because if you've got a small piece of wood, you need to come over, cut it off, make it a little adjustment. It's a temporary table saw.
And they call it a bandsaw because it's got a band in it.
Yep, the blade is a giant circle that just goes around on the 2 wheels.
Absolutely.
The table itself will rock left and right. You can get some nice mitering and beveling cuts on it. The blade is thin enough that you can do circle cuts, nice
So like a
variations.
scroll saw.
A lot like a scroll saw.
Yeah.
Works as a temporary for that too.
And what about larger wood?
Larger wood is a great feature. You raise the guide up. You can take a board, split it right down the middle, open it up like a book. You get great book matched grain. It's a terrific piece, great third tool.
David, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
You've been a great help.
Thanks a lot.
Don't go away. We've got a lot more to cover on the Ultimate Workshop. We've also got the Ultimate Workshop returns, we'll show you the ultimate in modular workstations.
Later today, DIY Network's home improvement experts help you get it done. Beginning with Warehouse Warriors, Woodworking Magazine's David Teal explores tools and techniques, plus This Old House Classics. Home improvement starts here. Today at 5 on DIY Network.
Building a home is enough to make your head spin.
This is great. I'm home.
Oh, this is heaven. Don't blow your mind. Improve your home IQ.
Thursday at 9 Eastern on DIY Network. Online at DIYnetwork.com. Transform your yard into a lavish garden in just 48 hours with DIY's Weekend Landscaping. Today at 4 Eastern on DIY Network. Online at DIYnetwork.com.
Hi, I'm Brian. Hi, I'm David. We got our gloves, we got our hard hats. Let's go create some art. Come on. We're in a working salvage yard where people and companies come and bring all this leftover metal, leftover junk that they need to recycle. And so we're just digging through some dumpsters. A little dumpster diving, and we hit some piles. We just really look for certain colors and certain styles. I mean, you gotta love that color. And this has become one of our favorite pieces. That's here. We love that. We knew that was here, so we came back to get more of it. To make one picture frame, you need a mound of metal.
Yes, exactly. You need all this stuff, because out of all this is where you'll find two things to make something.
You need an entire junkyard to make one frame, because you don't know what's going to be on that frame, and if you don't have that, you don't take that back from the junkyard and have it somewhere in a bucket where you can find it, then you can't make the frame the right way again. I guess you have a little plan in your mind, maybe of maybe there's just a base piece or a certain piece you're going to start with, and then other than that, it's just kind of scrounging around the place and all the different buckets and tables and everything, and trying to find stuff. And you keep bringing it back over to your table and putting it down, and then maybe not using it and going to get something else, and you end up having a table full of objects that may or may not be used on this or the next project. It probably looks from the outside kind of haphazard. We didn't go to school to learn how to make stuff out of metal. We just made stuff out of metal, and eventually we got better and better at it. I'm David Lee.
I'm Brian Gregory.
And when you see this,
we see this.
And we did it ourselves.
Hey, Jim.
Hey, Ronnie.
What's that?
Well, Ronnie, lately I've been wanting faster internet. So I got an Earthlink high-speed connection, and now I've got,
Right. Seems kind of crazy to me.
It's downloading up to 70 times faster than the regular dial-up crazy, Ronnie. I'm getting free protection tools like Virus Blocker, Spam Blocker, and Spyware Blocker, and right now I'm getting a great deal on Earthlink high-speed. Is that kind of crazy, Ronnie?
Touché, Jim. But what if I don't want a crazy thing on top of my head?
It's not even real, Ronnie. Just a marketing device. Yeah. Just to help remind people of Earthlink. See? Have a good one.
I'll try.
More speed, more security, more control. That's Earthlink High Speed. Get the first 3 months of high speed for just $19.95 a month. Call 800-334-5336 or visit these retailers. Earthlink revolves around you.
Welcome back to the Ultimate Workshop. Ours is coming along nicely, don't you think? Now, when you're deciding on workstations, you basically have two choices. You can either buy them or you can build them. Building is great because it gives you a lot of customization, but it's a lot of work.
So we've decided to purchase pre-made workstations for our shop. It's a modular system that can be expanded to fit just about any work area. Each station has a solid work surface and plenty of compartments to organize your tools and supplies. It even houses your benchtop power tools. The tools, like this miter saw, are attached to the workstation's insert top by simply laying out the unit and locking it down with 4 bolts. This is a really nice system, especially if you have a small workspace. It gives you the flexibility to switch out several tools while utilizing the same workstation. And when you're finished with one tool, you can take it off the workstation and store it in the tool crib. And depending on the size of your benchtop power tools, the crib can hold up to 3 or 4 of them at a time. With me now is Troy Moeller. He's here to tell us a little bit more about this innovative workshop system.
It's a nice tight fit. Lockdowns.
Lock them down, nice and safe.
Wow, that's great. So this is just tied into MDF. The MDF sits into the slot, and you're ready to go once you tighten it down.
That's correct. This particular miter saw, we got to an insert. However, you can have 3, 4, 5, 6 different inserts with 3 or 4, 5, 6 different tools, and you can take each one off and on.
So you're only limited by the amount of inserts you have.
That's right. Now, not only is it only limited by the amount of inserts you have, but once you get it on here, it's locked down, it's safe, it's secure, it's not going to move on you, and we've got an 1.25 inch MDF top, and it's almost indestructible.
Wow, and it can be sanded.
And it can be sanded to clean out any spots that you might get on it.
I like it. Now, is this portable?
Yes, it is. Lift it up by the front.
Look at that.
Take it out away from the wall. The best thing about that, Jay, is that if you have a one-car garage, you can move your car out, and you can take this from away from the wall, get it out into the middle of your shop, or you can take it right onto the driveway and work out in the driveway.
Right, well, this can go anywhere in the workshop.
It can go anywhere in the workshop.
Wow, I love it. Who invented this?
I did, Jay.
You're the inventor?
Yes, I am.
Well, you should be very proud. So I'm done with this tool, and I want to put another tool on this worktop. What do I do?
Well, it's very easy. 60 seconds, you loosen up the tie downs.
Right.
You pick up the tool, along with the insert, and you can walk it over here to a storage rack, tool rack. You put the insert into the slide, and you're done. You've stored it.
Wow, and these are adjustable, so if I've got a really large tool, I can open it up as wide as I need, right?
That's right. Depending on the profile of your tool, you can adjust the slides to fit basically any tool you have.
And it's 18-gauge steel?
It's 18-gauge steel. It comes with 3 inserts that you can mount 3 different tools to, like a grinder, a scroll saw, or maybe even like a belt disc sander.
Well, thanks to Troy, our shop is really starting to take shape. But stick around, there's still a lot more to do.
Next, we're going to clear the air, of dust that is, when the Ultimate Workshop returns.
Dude, what do you got in that thing?
I got an amp, guitar, surfboard, ladder, and 12 2x4s.
Velocity meets versatility. The all-new Hemi-powered Dodge Magnum. Open it up from either end. Dodge Magnum with 5-star, the highest frontal crash test rating.
You know what he's doing. He's doing what you're doing. There you are, HD ready and waiting. Don't you want Voom, the satellite service born for HD? Don't you want over 4,000 hours a week of great HD programming? Don't you want your new HD TV to rock? Voom has your favorite movies, sports, cable, and available local digital channels, and over 20 Voom HD originals only on Voom. CNET.com says it's the ultimate source for HD TV. Your TV wants more than just a few HD channels, and so do you. If you want to be more thrilled, more excited, more scared, get Voom, changing TV from something you watch into something you feel. What are you waiting for? Get more HD. Call today or visit Voom.com. You know you want to.
Now get Voom in every room. Try it for 6 months. Get 3 rooms professionally installed for just $1. $1. You've got that in your sofa. Call 1-866-677-VOOM today. It's a limited time offer. 1-866-677-VOOM.
This week on the DIY Workshop, home energy savings. Stop your money from going through the roof. Find out how to tighten up those energy leaks. You'll learn how to identify your home's weak spots and what to do about them. Then, the experts share tips on storm windows and doors, how to take control of your heating bills, and show you the latest innovations that'll help cut costs. Home energy savings. All this week at 6:30 Eastern on DIY Network.
Welcome back to the Ultimate Workshop. I'm Jay Baker, and we're moving right along on our workshop, and now we're ready to tackle one of my favorite subjects, a clean workshop and clean air. And when doing any kind of woodworking or finishing, it is so important to have clean air around you. Here's a great example of a dust collection system that runs throughout a workshop. Each piece of equipment has its own suction so that no matter where the homeowner is working, the dust is always scooped up and out.
We've included a dust collection system in our shop that incorporates into our modular workstations. Another feature of the tool dock system is an extension that can be used to house your own shop vac. On the side of the unit, there's a port where you can run the hose out and connect it to a vacuum system. Or you can pop off the insert to the workstation where you'll find a dust collection bin that you can attach to the hose directly. The actual vacuum system we're using costs around $75, but it comes with all the tubing and attachments needed for a reasonably sized shop. Installation is simple. All you need to do is measure a few inches above your workstation to make sure you have the necessary clearance for your tools. Then make a tick mark every so often to use as a guide when it's time to start lining up the tubing. It's a good idea to use a level as well. This keeps the tube straight and you won't have all of your runs going uphill. You'll also need to know where you're going to have your tabletop tools mounted so you can plan for where to locate the vacuum gates and hose mounts. You may get lucky with some of these and end up right where a section of tubing stops, but more than likely you'll need to cut some of the pipes to allow for your particular setup. It's easy enough to do. All we did was measure the length we needed and used a hacksaw to make the cut. When it comes time to actually install the dust collection tubing to the wall, it's a good idea to try and secure the mounting clamps to studs in the wall if possible. The weight of the system and dropping tools on the tubes could cause it to come loose over time. Another alternative is to use wall anchors. Simply make a hole, tap the anchor into the drywall, and then attach the clamp to the anchor. As you move along the wall, install the vacuum gates at their predetermined locations. Flexible hose can be attached to the system at each gate and then directly to the tool, or left loose to act as a vacuum hose to clean up around each station. Once it's all up, just attach a shop vac hose to the end of the run and you're ready to go. The great thing about this vacuum system is that each tool has a dedicated valve. That way it can be shut down when not in use.
Well, that's all we have time for today. We've come a little further on our workshop and the end result is in sight. But if you missed anything on today's show, everything is covered on our website at DIYnet.com. Check it out. I'm Jay Baker. Thanks for watching The Ultimate Workshop.
Welcome to another DIY kit. Everything you need to complete a do-it-yourself project. For detailed lists, instructions, and more, go to DIYnetwork.com and click on DIY Kits. Today's kit will show you how to install a real wood floating floor, and it's brought to you exclusively by Lumber Liquidators. To get started, you'll need an electric saw, foam underlayment, seam tape, a pull bar, a tapping block, a hammer or mallet, a razor knife, expansion shims, safety glasses, and your flooring. Engineered floors are more resistant to moisture than solid wood, so they're ideal for basements or concrete surfaces. Before beginning, make sure the subfloor is dry, clean, and level. If there are dips in the surface, use shingles or pieces of plywood to reach a consistent level. To acclimate, flooring should be delivered a week prior to installation. Select the longest wall to begin laying your floor. Roll out a section of underlayment and place the groove side of your board against the wall. Continue with the first row, placing the tongue of one board at an angle into the groove of the other. Once inside, push down to click the pieces into place. Use spacers to provide room for expansion. Cut a board to finish out the first row. Then use a full board to begin the next one. Use the tongue and groove method on the long edge. Then gently tap it in until the ends have butted up. Cut boards as needed to fill out and stagger your rows. And use the tapping block and pull bar to snug into place. It's important to alternate your lengths so seams are at least 20 inches apart on adjacent rows. You should also work out of several cartons at once to optimize the blending of the floor pattern. Once you've finished your floor, remove the expansion shims and nail shoe molding to the wall. Your new floating floor looks great, and you can walk on it immediately. Log on to DIYnetwork.com for complete instructions. You'll also find how you can buy everything you need to complete this project, along with many other DIY kits. Today's kit has been brought to you by Lumber Liquidators, hardwood flooring for less.
Look at these incredible hardwood flooring deals now at Lumber Liquidators. Solid oak flooring at 99 cents per square foot. 10-inch wide pine flooring at $1.19 a square foot. 25-year pre-finished bamboo flooring at $2.79 a square foot. And now on sale, the best pre-finished flooring made, Bellawood 50-year pre-finished flooring in a wide variety of species and widths. Lumber Liquidators, hardwood flooring for less. Call 800 Flooring or go to lumberliquidators.com.
DIY, the do-it-yourself network, is showing you the fine art of furniture making with Woodworks. Learn age-old techniques to handcraft your next project in a traditional mission style, or create cove moldings for a finishing touch. Woodworks, Thursday at 8:30 Eastern on DIY Network.